All right, I'm up here in Wyoming and I had all these beautiful podcast topics laid out and I was getting ready to do them. And I'm going to be honest with you, I grabbed a random book that my dad had laying out and it was a contrast and comparison between Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone. And it really got my mind going on leadership and it made me realize that you should go kill a bear. Wait, what? Did this guy just say go kill a bear? Well, kind of. I was looking at this contrast and comparison, and both Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone were known for killing bears with their bare hands sometimes. And it sounds crazy right now because it probably didn't happen. Maybe if they had a rifle, they shot one, but a lot of the stories about these guys were that they killed them with their bare hands. Now, Davy Crockett was a congressman and he went on to do a lot of pretty amazing things, as did Daniel Boone. And this particular story is talking about Davy Crockett and one of his journal entries that was found. And it talks about he is talking to one of his men and they get back from battle. And it was about 100 men who went out and they were able to fend off and defend a fort that was going to be overrun. And they were outmanned about 1 to 10. And Davy Crockett is just worn out. He can barely move. He sleeps for 3 days and he wakes up and one of his men, they're looking directly at him and you could tell he's just not happy. And his man looks at him and he says, "Why did you do it?" And he's kind of waking up and he's definitely beat up from the battle. And he says, "Man, I don't know what you're talking about." And he says, "You never killed a bear with your bare hands. You know, I was the person who carried you in here and dressed your wounds, and your journal fell out of its sack. And yes, I know it was wrong of me to read it, but I read the part where you said that you ran. You never fought a bear. And I fought next to you because you were the man who could kill a bear with his bare hands. The men that were out there defending this fort were fighting next to the person they thought could kill a bear with their bare hands. And that's why we fought so hard. That's why we went the extra mile. That's why we were able to really defend the fort." And Davy Crockett looks at him and he says, "Well, you know what? You're right. I did encounter a bear. And it scared me just more than you could imagine. And it took one swipe at me, and how the story actually goes is it took a swipe at me and I ran back into town and I couldn't really say anything because I'd been running for so long and I was so scared and I passed out from exhaustion. And by the time I woke up, everyone had said that I killed the bear with my bare hands because that is the only way that they could believe that I would still be alive. Because if you come across a bear and I have a scar across my chest of a bear attacking me, well, there's no other way that you would be able to live through that. And so, yes, you know what? I didn't do the most honorable thing and I let people think that that was true. But let me ask you something. Are we alive today because you followed a leader who you thought could kill a bear with his bare hands? And at that moment, the guy looked at Davy Crockett and he said, "Well, that's probably why we're alive, and that's probably why this fort is still standing." And unfortunately, sometimes people need to believe in something that is bigger than them. Now, this is a really controversial thing because, I mean, think about it. He's basically deceiving them. So what do you do in that situation? Because we live in this land of fake it until you make it. And realistically, that was the start of it. That's where we're getting this kind of stuff from. You want to follow someone that you think is invincible. Nobody's invincible. Nobody has all the answers. So I'm going to leave that with everybody, because I want you to ask yourself, how often do you go around telling people that you killed a bear? Or how often do you just let people think that you killed a bear? And the controversial side of things is, when is it appropriate to tell people, look, man, I ran away and I was just scared? It's something that's going on in leadership today. And unfortunately, if you let your mythical lore get too big and then people find out the truth, man, you're in for a rude awakening. Again, I'm just speaking on things that I've gone through. I was very guilty of this. And now I really try to set the record straight on who exactly I am and what I'm exactly capable of. Because I'm telling you, I owe everything to my team. And I owe everything to people who believe in me for who I am, not believe in me for who they think I am. Now, I'm always evolving and I'm always trying to be better, but I want to help people understand in leadership, you don't have to run around and try to either kill bears, because whether you like it or not, you're not going to be able to kill a bear with your bare hands. It's just not going to happen. But don't go around telling people that either. You need to be able to cut through your own BS so that people don't add to the BS and then you just don't want to correct them. So just to be clear, the bears of your life can be little white lies. They can be bold-faced lies. They can be things that maybe you were on a team, but you took all the credit. And I want you to start accepting the fact that the only real way to do big, great, amazing things, quote unquote, kill a bear, is through teamwork, being at the right place at the right time with the right people that are on a clear path and you guys are working together. That's how you kill bears. And you want to be a leader that can communicate how we're going to get that done. And then you have the people who can execute the vision so that you can do these great, amazing things. And then it just speaks for itself after that. You don't have to tell anybody who you are because they're already going to know. The proof's in the pudding. Thanks again, guys. This is the Final Percent Podcast, taking this journey with you, trying to throw out some knowledge and put new twists on it that maybe you haven't heard before, and trying to connect the dots in a way that you haven't seen before. Again, thank you. You mean the world if you're listening to this. It's helping you. Please let me know. Give me a shout out, Greg_KMG Life on all social media. Hit me up, connect with me. Thanks again. Talk to you soon.